Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how I did a comparison of OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini sponsored by Lovable, an AI website and web app maker, really easily using one prompt. I'm going to go over the products themselves, the methodology behind the prompt engineering, and how you should repeat this but for your own purposes, because honestly, you should be making products using AI personalized to your needs. Let's go over the methodology. My goal is to develop a prompt that I'm going to use only once, and I'm going to do that by getting the best instructions possible compiled through the help of Gemini 2.5 Pro and ChatGPT. You might say, why do I do both? That's a preference of mine. So I start with Gemini and I create some high-level instructions. In this case, I wanted a 2D language learning game inspired by Pokemon. And I told Gemini, look, these are the details, but can you please improve the prompt so I can use it with an AI code editor? And here's the prompt, right? It gives you a project title, a core concept. It breaks down into the visuals and the aesthetics, as well as like the mechanics and the flow, which is like quite thorough. So I'm really happy with this, and I thought, might as well go test it out on the Gemini canvas itself, as you can see over here, which is a good starter, right? Like it took that information and it implemented it, but it doesn't have that gameplay that reminds you, let's say, of Pokemon. Lovable, though, did a much better job. It still has like a lot of work to be done, but I can see the kanji, I can see an environment that reminds me a bit more of Pokemon, right? So good job, but we still need to improve it. So while Lovable was great, I need to refine the prompt. And I went to ChatGPT this time and I asked for prompt refinement. And I inserted some key details, right? Like I wanted to use the Press Start 2P font. It's actually the font that a lot of Game Boy-like games use. And to ensure that we have a human-like figure with a hat that goes around whenever you're trying to interact with the kanji. And then to ensure pixelated trees. That's just like a nice, cute feature we want. And I told it you have to spell the exact environment that we're gonna use. And then I inserted my prompt, which has to refine. Okay, so here we have candidate number one, OpenAI, in which you can see the result already. We have an environment that is reminiscent actually of a Game Boy-like environment. The kanji over here are quite active, they're moving around, and if I bump into any one of them, assuming that I'm not an obstacle, you can see the obstacles are registered quite well. Let's see, okay, I run into a kanji, this is water. The contrast here is not great. Okay, we're noting that, but overall the gameplay works just fine. I wish the trees were inside, and I also wish that we could have a more interactive battle with the kanji, but this is serving the purposes of language learning, right? So great job from OpenAI, I would say 9 out of 10. And here as well, we have a one-shot prompt in which we used the same exact prompt, only once, no refinements whatsoever. Okay, and this is Anthropic, and it looks very clean. It also looks very peaceful. I like how they have the kanji captured up here, and then they give you instructions on the bottom left. And the kanji, they're not moving around, they're just bobbing around, which is perhaps the only thing we can say that it didn't fulfill, but overall it's very much well designed. Look at this color contrast, right? And this is person, and it has some nice banners that it gives you when you capture kanji. The figure, it looks like a human, but again, it doesn't have that responsiveness that OpenAI provided. But I prefer this, to be honest. I would say that Anthropic did the best job for my taste. And lastly, Gemini by Google, and you can see again, same prompt whatsoever. And I only inserted it once, and it gave me this result on a one-shot attempt. And you can see that the figure over here is a bit small. We have to zoom in, but it did follow the rules. It's just that it didn't create a gameplay that is really enticing. And I mean, the UI is just a bit all over the place, right? So this means tree. I can't even insert it. And that's just Gemini not being perfect on a one-shot attempt. So overall, there's a lot of improvement to be done with Gemini. So what are some actionable next steps to undertake? We have AI wrappers like Lovable.dev that excel in creating applications that we could use on the spot. Do other AI wrappers do the same, such as bold.new and same.dev? Or what about if you were to do this all locally, which is what I prefer to do using Klein or Windsurf or Cursor? Then on another basis, we have this one-shot evaluation that I created. What are some other practical one-shot evaluations that I could create. And I'm open to collaboration, so please come up with any ideas you may have. And lastly, I would say that implementing refined prompts even further that inject styling guides much better and coerce the model to follow them such that we have basically a better chance at succeeding would be a really good evaluation. So those are my next steps. If you have any ideas, please shout them out in the comments. Keep making.